We have an NHL trade to discuss between the Minnesota Wild and the San Jose Sharks. We'll discuss the details coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have an actual NHL trade that just went down between the Wild and the Sharks. And to be completely honest, I think this is a good deal for the Sharks. A little bit confusing on Minnesota's side, but the Minnesota Wild have traded 23-year-old right-shot defenseman Kalen Addison to the Sharks in exchange for a 5th-round pick in 2026. The Minnesota Wild also received prospect Adam Raska, who was a late-round pick in the 2020 NHL draft. He's from the Czech Republic. He's played some time in the AHL's Barracuda system, and he's appeared in 8 NHL games so far with the San Jose Sharks, yet to register a point. I don't completely understand why the Wild are giving up on a right-shot defenseman who's still relatively young, good offensive skills. I can say that based on what I've seen, it's certainly probably fair to say that he's never really fully earned the trust of the coaching staff to play regular top 4 minutes. Mostly played in a sheltered role. Obviously in San Jose, he'll likely become one of their power play quarterbacks, if not the main one even. He and the rest of the Sharks defense, like, there's not much there for defense. Obviously, they've given up a ton of goals. They did have a better game against the Flyers last night, of course, which was, a bit of a shocking turn. But, hey, something had to happen at some point in San Jose. But this is a good acquisition, in my opinion, for San Jose. I still think this kid has a lot of talent. Of course, Minnesota picked him up. He was originally a fairly high draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was traded along with Alex Galchenyuk and another pick, I think it was a pick in there as well, for Jason Zucker. So this is from the Zucker trade. They've had him in the organization for a while. He's never really played consistent, regular NHL minutes like he has at times, but it just seems like he will often fall out of favor or whatnot. But I mean, obviously I know Brock Faber comes in as a right shot defenseman, a tad younger, certainly has higher upside. I think that's fair. I know they love Faber there in Minnesota, which is understandable, but considering that a lot of their other defensemen, like, your Spurgeon, Brodin, like, they're good defensemen too, but they're certainly a lot older. Trading a young right shot D with where they're at just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's a pending restricted free agent, so he'll need a new contract next offseason, only making $825,000. For a 5th-round pick 3 years down the road, they could have probably put him on waivers. He may have been picked up, may have cleared, could have sent him to the minors. Like, it just seems confusing to me why they're giving up on this guy, but maybe I just haven't seen enough. So Wild fans out there, I'd love especially your perspective on this situation. Was moving Kalen Addison the required trade? Because really, a 5th-round pick in 3 years is probably not going to amount to anything. I mean, it's always possible. You do have these late-round gems that appear. Generally, you're looking at 3 or 4 years after the draft. So you're looking at a player who has a low percentage chance of being an NHL player in about 7 to 8 years down the road is what they basically got picked up here for, a right shot defenseman who's still 23. And like I said, even if he's not, awesome defensively or what have you, he's not the biggest guy either. I think he's like 5'10". He's like, I think maybe 175, 180. I don't know. It just seems like a lot to give up. Easy chance for San Jose to bring in an offensive player who can help them out and get a bigger role, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, confusing trade on Minnesota's side, in my opinion. San Jose clearly wins. This is an easy one because they get the only player in the trade. The Wild get a draft pick, which, like I said, in 7-8 years' time, maybe amounts to something, maybe it doesn't. Hard to say. Let me know your thoughts on this trade down in the comment section. We'll discuss further. I'll be back later with another video or more to recap the rest of today's news and rumors from around the entire 32-team NHL. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.